Amin Ra. Amin Ra. We love you. We love you. We need you. We need you. We worship you. We worship you. We praise your name. Whoa. Whoa. We love you. We love you. We need you. We need you. We worship you. We worship you. We praise your name. Amin Ra, we praise you every day. You've given us the sacred African way. You showed us how to work, study, and pray. And that is why we are so proud to say we love you. We love you. We need you. We need you. We worship you. We worship you. We praise your name. We praise. Amin Ra, we praise. Amin Ra, you know we honor you. We praise your name in all that we do. We try to be all that we can be and live our lives so that you can see that we love you. We love you. We need you. We need you. We love you. We love you. We need you. We praise your name. We love you. We love you. We need you. We need you. We worship you. We worship you. We praise your name. 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 Amin Ra. Give you Excalibur, you could use it right now. I'll use this right here. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, we have opened it up. We are now joined together at the Wose Community Church, our worship and praise service, where we are followers and practitioners of the sacred African way. Grand Rise, good morning to you all. I am Minister M.I.T. Mali, and I am opening up our service this morning. Let us begin. I want to share just a bit about who we are and what we are. As I said before, we are practitioners of the African sacred way, and we have 4 pillars that are our goals as a community. To worship and praise the Most High in the ways of our ancestors, to learn and teach the history and culture of the African people, to build our relationship with the natural ecology as stewards of a healthy environment, and to pursue an agenda for social change. We believe in girding ourselves with M.I.T, which includes the principles of truth, justice, and reciprocity. We are also directed by Nguzo Saba as a community, and we try to personally keep and discipline ourselves according to the 10 virtues. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So first and foremost, to truly invite ourselves along with our ancestors who would love to join us, to be a part of this service, to be with us, those who have come before us, those who have gone on beyond the veil. We want to do what is called libation. I also need to check myself because I did forget there's also a tradition that we honor, that before we continue any further in the service and we do libation, I would like to request the permission of the elders to proceed with the service.
Continue, my brother, as spirit is leading.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, and excuse my literal, well, my memory lapse for a second. All right, I appreciate that. Ashe, thank you, elders. And now we come to the part of the service where we confirm and affirm who we are and whose we are. The affirmation led by Mama Afua and Baba Katabasi.
Good morning, indeed. It's good to be here and to share this affirmation with Sister Afua. Yes.
Yes. And we give thanks, as always, for the wisdom, the spirit, the guidance of Jose. And now, may we reaffirm. We will know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors, and to honor the struggles of our elders.
Let us strive to bring new vision and life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, study, and listen so we may learn, teach, and cultivate self-reliance.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our hearts and our homeland.
We will raise our children according to the needs of our nation, with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be the living models of the people.
We are an African people.
We are the children of God.
Of God. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
They're off the screen. Okay, but we did right here, but we're good right here. I see. Test, check, check, check. How's everybody doing? No less than blessed. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. We could I think
love is all around me. 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 And I know it won't be easy. And I know it won't be easy. I know it won't be easy. But with love all around me, there's no doubt in my mind, I'm gonna make it. Love is all around me. Love is all around And I know it won't be easy. And I know it won't be easy. I know it won't be easy. But with love all around me, there's no doubt in my mind, I'm gonna make it.
Love. Hearing the song that love is all around you, all around me, all around us. Sometimes when we wake up in the morning, we need to think about the love that we have to get us started on our day. Sometimes when we feel angry about something, love can solve that problem. Just thinking about all that we're grateful for. Love is that. So I know that we're facing hard times right now, like we heard in prayer. I know that love will take care of it all. Love is all around. So we'll say, let's love, let's love, let's love up. We'll say, love is all around me.
Love is all around me. And I know it won't be easy. And I know it won't be easy. I know it won't be easy. But with love all around me, there's no doubt in my mind, we're gonna make it. That's it. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. Good morning, we'll say. We have come to that time in our service. First of all, my name is M.I.T. We've come to that time in our service that we call our historical tribute. It's a time that we here at We'll Say take out each and every Sunday to pay honor, to pay homage, to pay tribute to some significant, not necessarily famous, but significant person, place, or event in our history. Person, place, event, thing, or organization in our history. And we do it every week because we know that if we don't take the time to remember what we have done, it will be forgotten. And we do it because we want to keep alive at least 7 generations of our people's history. And we do it because we want our children to know that we have done great things in the past so that they know that they will be able to do great things in the future. So I want to start today. Hold on, man. This is when you do things live, sometimes they don't always work out just right. Let me find this here. I apologize, we'll say when. Okay, let me do this. In
the process.
Okay, here we go. Oops. I need to go. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this morning's historical tribute, I want to start in a very bad place. I want to show a picture that's kind of horrific, distasteful. It may not be what you want to see. It may not be what you want your children to see. So I invite you to look away right now, and I'll let you know when it's okay to come back. So this morning's story is going to start with this picture, this 1930 picture of the lynching of Thomas Shipp and Abram Smith in Marion, Indiana. Now, where was that? Marion, Indiana, not in the South. This was in Indiana. I'm not going to talk about what these two brothers were accused of doing, but we're so familiar with the story. They were taken out of jail. They were Black. They were taken out of jail, and they were murdered by a mob of thousands on August the 7th, 1930. Okay, so you can look now. Now, the picture that you have up, that I have up now, has nothing to do with this morning's tribute, but I like this picture, and I thought after that horrific picture, I'd like to show something that I like. And I actually got, you're welcome. And I actually got this picture from Mama Jeff's wife, Barbara Jeff's wife, Mama Tian. So thank you, Mama Tian. Okay, but back to the horrific picture. It inspired a man by the name of Abel Meropol, who was a Russian Jew born in New York City, to write an anti-lynching poem in 1937. And he entitled the poem Bitter Fruit. Now, in addition to being a writer and a poet and a songwriter, he was also a high school teacher in the Bronx. And among other people, he taught author James Baldwin and poet Countee Cullen, okay? Uh-oh, what happened to Countee Cullen? Okay, okay, and poet Countee Cullen. He published the song Bitter Fruit in a teacher union magazine in 1937. After that, he, as I said, he was a songwriter. He put the poem to music and he had his wife sing it. And he changed the name of the song to Strange Fruit, from Bitter Fruit to Strange Fruit. Now, one of the most renowned singers of the day, Billie Holiday, Lady Day, Billie Holiday, heard the song and she fell in love with it. And so in March of 1939, she sang it for the first time. So a 23-year-old Billie Holiday walked up to the mic at New York's first integrated nightclub, which was named the Cafe Society, and it was going to be her final song of the night. Per her request, the waiters had stopped serving and the room went completely black, except for a spotlight on her face. Now, during the musical introduction to the song, she stood with her eyes closed as if she were invoking a prayer. And then she sang softly in her raw and emotional voice, "Southern trees bear a strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees." When she finished, and they turned the spotlight off, and when it came back on, the stage was empty and she was gone, right? And the room was quiet. And she said in her autobiography that at first she thought she made a mistake by singing the song. There wasn't even a platter of applause, she said. And then she said, a lone person began to clap nervously, and then suddenly everyone was clapping, right? And that was how Billie Holiday performed the song Strange Fruit for the next 20 years, until her untimely death at the age of 44. She said that singing the song made her fearful of retaliation, but that the imagery reminded her of her father, and she continued to sing the piece, making it a regular part of her live performances. She wanted to record the song, but the song was so controversial that her record company refused to record it. She was able to get it recorded by another record company, but the song was banned by many radio stations across the country. Not just in the South, all across the country, they wouldn't play her song. White people did not want to hear about the Black suffering that they were causing. They didn't want to hear about how they treated Black people. And as we see today with this whole critical race theory nonsense, the same is true today. White people still don't want us to know what they're doing to us. Okay. There was one man in particular, a racist that worked for the FBI, and I have his name, but I won't mention it here, who wanted to destroy her. As the head of the FBI Narcotics Division, he forbid her to sing the song again, but she would sing it anyway. Like Colin Kaepernick, and many years later, and many others, in her own way, she was resisting white supremacy, right? But the FBI was determined to get her. And so the head of the narcotics division had his men give her drugs, and then they arrested her for having drugs. Okay. She went to prison for a year and a half in 1948. And when she came out, they wouldn't give her her cabaret's performance license, which meant that she could no longer sing in nightclubs in New York that she loved, and that provided her with her livelihood. Still, she performed a sold-out audience at places like Carnegie Hall, and she managed to find other jobs so that she could survive. In 1959, she checked herself into a New York City hospital, suffering from heart and lung problems and cirrhosis of the liver due to decades of drugs, alcohol, and cigarette abuse. She was emaciated, which means she was really thin, an emaciated version of herself, and her once heartfelt voice was now withered and raspy. Although sick and probably dying, the FBI man still bent on ruining her, had his men go to the hospital and handcuff her to her bed. Although she had been showing signs of improvement, The FBI men forbid the doctors to offer her any further treatment, and she died within a few days. I say murdered by the FBI.
Yes, yes.
The BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, dubbed the song Strange Fruit the most shocking song of all time. And in 1999, Time magazine called Strange Fruit the song of the century. Let me say that again. In 1999, the last year of that century, Time magazine called Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit the song of the century. So that's part of Billie Holiday's enduring legacy. She won 23 Grammys after death because the Grammys started the year she died, so she couldn't have won them while she was singing. She won 23 Grammys after death, and she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the year 2000. The song Strange Fruit still haunts people today and still invokes the memory of Thomas Shipp and Abram Smith from my first picture, and thousands of other Black people who have been lynched, mutilated, set on fire, and left hanging on trees in the South, right? So now, Billie Holiday.
Southern trees, they're strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root, black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant South, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolia, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rock, for the tree to drop. Here is a strange and bitter cry.
This morning's service is dedicated to Lady Day, Billie Holiday, and to the historic, controversial, and inspiring song, Strange Fruit. May they both live forever in the hearts and the minds of our people. Thank you, we'll say.
Yay. Well done, Tom.
Excellent.
Very good.
Thank you, dear brother.
Very good.
You'd like to know the name of the FBI agent. If it's magic, then why can't it be everlasting? Start again.
Start again. That historical tribute got everybody low. They're really feeling it. We call in some
If it's magic, then why can't it be everlasting? Like the sun that always shines, like the poets in this rhyme, like the galaxies in time. If it's pleasing, then why can't it be never leaving? Like the day that never ends. Like on seashores there are shells. Like the tongue that always tells. It holds the key for every heart throughout the universe. It fills you up without a bite and quenches every thirst. So if it's special, then with a heart we as careful, making sure we dress in style, posing pictures with a smile, keeping danger from a child. It holds the key for every heart throughout the universe. It fills you up without a bite and quenches every thirst. So if it's magic, why can't we make it everlasting? Like the lifetime of the sun, it will leave no heart undone. For there's enough for everyone. Ashe, ashe, ashe. All right, all right, all right. Woo. Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. It is okay for the Spirit to challenge your heart, to touch your feelings. I can't speak for no one else, but that historical tribute touched a deep part of my sadness. It messed with my heart, yet I am in the right place. I'm in the house of worship, surrounded by folks that love me. And I don't know about you all. It's the right place. It was an awesome, awesome historical tribute. Thank you, Baba Tai. And also a beautiful song to kind of encapsulate how we should feel about our history. Yes, there is some sadness. Yes, there is some trauma. Yet it's magical what the divine can do in our lives. That in spite of those troubles, can lift us up. Ashe, ashe. I don't know what y'all doing out there, but I'm telling you, in here, we are feeling the Spirit. And so we come to that part of the service that we want everyone to participate in. Yes, indeed, because there are some real life practical concerns that are of the material level. And so we're now into the litany of service, where we have the litany of sacrifice. Thank you so much, Baba Sidney. I'm still a little tingly right now. But we have Baba Jahi and Mama Sia. All right, go ahead. The litany of sacrifice.
Good morning, Jose. It's good to see so many beautiful Black faces this morning. We've come to the part of our service, is Litany of Sacrifice. We will begin by reading a verse from the Hosea. It comes from the book of Ptahhotep, and it comes from verse 12, page 45. Share with your friends that which you have, for that which is yours is a gift of God. Those who fail to share with their friends are shunned for having a selfish soul. Although people might plan for tomorrow, they do not know what will come to pass. But it is righteousness by which people are sustained. Therefore, if misfortune comes and you have been righteous with your friends will welcome you. Peace will not be found in a city where friends are forgotten and their needs are not answered. Okay, and then on the screen, as shown earlier, gives you instructions as to your giving and your offerings for Wose Oakland and for Wose Sacramento. And we would like to remind everyone that it is Litany of Sacrifice. And as part of what we believe in giving back. And by which we give back, the buildings, the lights, the water, all of those things those bills are still coming in. So we do still need the offerings to continue to sustain this work. And so we'd like to see you give and give often as you can and as much as you can. Now let's go ahead with the Litany of Sacrifice. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We praise your name, O Amen-Ra, for it is good. Ashe. And now, with the principles, Umoja, unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kudichagalia, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujima'a, cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kuumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it.
Imani, faith. We shall believe with all our hearts in our God, our people, and in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Ashe. So now we shall, again, showing on the screen is how we can give either by US mail or by going online with PayPal and such. So please, please, please do your duty. And now we shall have our prayer.
Divine Father, Mother, we come to you, we thank you, praise you for all the blessings of this fantastic community. We know that we would not be here if not for the great work, the sacrifices of so many others. We ask that you put your arms around this community, help us to grow, to prosper, to become as great as the great down the seas in ancient Kemet, that we can stand and look 100 or 200 years from now and see the work that we've done by the children that we produce who see our great work. We ask you to be us to be of one mind, to move as one people, to have one faith and one great goal for ourselves. We ask you to thank all those who are generous in the donations and the giving of both their time, their talent, and their money, so that they can see prosperity as a community, as a collective, as a whole. All these things we ask in your name, we pray, we say M.I.T, we say Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe.
And before Baba Mali, before we go, Baba Mali, before we go further, I would just like to say that we don't get to see our director, Baba Jahi, often, but that certainly doesn't mean he's on the golf field, because usually he is with our youth doing some special tutoring or something. So thank you, Baba, for coming with us and having time today. Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe.
Baba Jahi and Mama Sia, thank you for leading us in a very important part of our service. Now we are coming to the culmination of the worship and service. We are about to bring on our sister, M.I.T, Rauna Thurston. I'm not going to do a long, drawn-out intro, but yeah, we got a brother in the house that does so much a better job of bringing the hype. But I will just simply say I am eagerly, excitedly awaiting this part called the message. With no further ado, with an extreme amount of anticipation, with excitement from head to toe. Oh yes. Let's hear it. Let us lift up our arms in reception as we extend our greeting to M.I.T, Sister Rauna.
Yeah, Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe,
Yes, yes.
All right. May I have permission from an elder to speak?
Yes, you do. Have our permission.
bring forward your message as the Spirit has led you.
I got something right here in the room with me. I'm like, wait a minute, what y'all talking about? All right, I'll take it. All right, before I get past that, I'll say, I'd like to share with you a number by a young lady named LaShawn Pace, so that she can tell you what I have come to know. Baba Jeffrey.
Okay.
Sign my name. Come on and help me tonight, church. It sounds good to me. I know I've been changed. Angels, heaven. Listen.
Ashe.
Oh, yeah.
Ashe. Now, my family has endured me singing that over the past few weeks, and I chose to not put you through that because I needed you to hear and feel the song as it's meant to be heard. So you see, I'm another version of Janet Jackson because in my opinion, Janet is an excellent entertainer with very good technicians, and that's what we have here at Mosaic. So, whew, all right, y'all, that one just, whew, it's almost, I don't want to use the word spooky, but it definitely got a little woo to it, right? It definitely kind of gets inside of you. You know, Sister Price said, follow me down to that old Jordan stream. She said, she stepped in the water and the water was cold. Angels in heaven. And she said, it chilled her body, but not her soul. Don't that sound a lot like wading in the water too? I'm just saying, sometimes things connect in your mind and in your spirit. And I said, I think she's talking about what I was talking about at one time, not too long ago. You know, we met again before the new year. I think it was after the wade in the water. I think it was in November. And we talked about reciprocation. We talked about living our lives in such a way that showed appreciation for the things that God was providing for us. We took a toll of our health, our various types of wealth, and our love and happiness, as you would call it. And then we were going through Kwanzaa time and New Year and all of that situation. And then we came into January. And as Sister Connie, Mama Connie, and Mama Akanke have said, January had some different ideas for us. January was a little tough on the Wose family, and I think pretty much on the world at large. And we had family members to transition in January. Our minister M.I.T's father. We had our Professor Maynu's mother, Mama Rosie. We had people whose entire household contacted COVID. Brother AJ, I think of him. It was a very emotional time for many of us on a lot of different levels. Basically, 2022 was not coming in gently. It was coming in hot, as they say. Okay. Now, around that same time, my mother and I caught COVID. We tested positive in the beginning of January. And when I tell you it hit us so hard, we were down for the count. Pretty much through the end of February and then some. I am still suffering, and she is still suffering from the side effects of what is now being defined as long COVID. The most disturbing part of it was something that they're calling brain fog. And see, just in case nobody has told you, brain fog is some politically correct, not so bad sounding definition of otherwise known as short-term memory loss. Okay, they don't want to call it that because then that would set off all sorts of other situations. So they're calling it brain fog. But I'm here to tell you, it was not foggy, it was gone. Okay, we could not remember 15 minutes ago in any particular time span. It was definitely one of the scariest experiences that I've had in my life to date. Now, I don't know what Alzheimer's is like, or I don't know what dementia is like, meaning for myself. I know people, but for myself, I don't know. But I'm gonna have to say that what I believe from what I do know of it is that's about the closest that I want to be and the closest that I have been.
We hear you.
We were locked in that house and we were getting calls from the doctors and everything. And we were like, what was it we were supposed to tell the doctor? I don't know. I thought you would remember. Well, I thought you wrote it down. Well, I didn't remember to write it down. Well, what are we going to say? I don't know what we're going to say. And it was just the two of us because we both had COVID. So very honestly, wasn't nobody fooling with us.
Right.
It was just us and us,
Yeah.
me and mine.
Yes.
We kind of got used to that, but that's all right. That's another message.
All right now.
Hope y'all watching.
Yes.
We were locked. Between the feelings that we were having about everything that was going on, between my own personal warning for my brothers in this life, Minister M.I.T, my brother, Minister Mainu, everything. It was just a lot. It was a lot coming down on us.
Yes,
and at the same time, I'm dealing with the uncertainty of my 90-year-old mother's ability to pull through this, right? Because I mean, my mom is 90 years old. She is a cancer survivor. She has coronary heart disease. When I heard her result came back as positive, I was like,
yeah, overstand.
Come on.
What to do? What to do?
And what I'm going to do while I'm trying to get me right, so I can help get her right. I'll say it was a lot.
Yes.
Let me just give you a visual here. At one point, it was so bad, she could not come out of her room. So whatever was going to happen with her meals or anything else was going to happen in that room.
Right.
Okay. I went 3 steps down, and I put, you know, the big puffy coat that you wear in the winter, the big poofy one.
Yeah.
I walked down 3 steps and I put my puffy coat down on the steps and I'd sit on the puffy coat and I'd go down the stairs like it was a, what you call it, a toboggan or a sled, like a little 5-year-old kid, boom, 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 down to downstairs so I could get to the kitchen so I could make something for us to eat.
Yes.
That's how I got downstairs, because I was too afraid that if I tried to walk down the stairs with the level of energy that I did not have and the dizziness that I had and everything else that I had, that I might not make it down the stairs. And then it was going to be me laid out on them stairs and her up in that room wondering what was going on and nobody coming to see. So I had to figure it out. So I figured it out.
Yes.
That was all I could do. And the memory loss was devastating, y'all. When I say I thought at one time, God, I don't know how this is all going to work out, but I would really prefer that you do something to something else if I have any say. I don't know that I have any say, but in the event I do, let me just speak out and say, if you could, you know, mess with my knees, my arms, or my back, or my something. But I cannot think of what I thought of 5 minutes ago. And if this is how the rest of my life is going to be, I don't know how I'm going to take care of me and mine. So I need you to do something different other than this.
Yes.
I need you to do something else. I would pray every single night that when I woke in the morning, it would be different. I would pray every single night that I'm going to go to sleep tonight and I'm going to wake up in the morning. It is going to be different. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to sit up and I'm going to remember something from yesterday. Or I'm going to remember something that I was supposed to do. And it's going to be, yes, it's going to be better. It's going to be okay. And I kept waking up in the morning and nothing was different. And I'm thinking, what kind of COVID is this? Everybody else that I know that had COVID, you know, they were a few days, maybe a few weeks. They said it was like a rough cold, or, you know, maybe they had the chills or they had something. And I was fully so-called vaccinated. Let me add that into the equation.
Yeah. Come on.
So I'm like, what version of this madness have I got?
Right.
What version? Because I'm on like week 9, which is 62 weeks in dog years. And I'm like, this is just a bit much. Well, you're just doing too much. Come on now, you don't hear me.
Come on.
I didn't know anybody that had been through what I was experiencing, so I had no reference point.
I hear you.
But then I said, you know, we don't really know what's going on with this stuff anyway.
Yeah, right.
And they don't really know either, because we are the test group. We are the trial group. We are where they are figuring out what it is, what it's going to do, what it's going to be, and all of that.
Right.
So all I can do is keep going.
Yes.
But I started questioning, should I continue in my ministerial training? Should I continue in other things? Oh, I'm gonna keep it out. Hey, all I got is me to give you. So here it is, like here it goes. I started questioning whether or not I was going to, if things did not change from the way they were, I had to start looking at how I was going to have to change in order to accommodate that. Now, this is where I would normally start those deals of desperation.
Okay, now break it down.
God, if you would do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F. I'm going to throw in K, L, M, N, O. And just because, you know, I'm going to start deals of desperation. Let's make a deal, right? We talked about this before. We talked about this before. But you see, I had a conversation with a friend when I was saying, you know, I don't know what to do. You know, and my friend was like, why do we get to that point? Why do we get to that deal of desperation point? Why do we even go there in our minds? I said, I don't know, but that's where I am. Yes. I'm desperate.
Yes, yes.
And he said, you know, I can remember exactly the last time I felt like that. And I said, okay, when was that? And he said, it was when my mom passed, which was when he was in his senior year of high school. We went to high school together. And he said he remembered his mom had been in the hospital and they finally got the word from the physicians that she was not going to make it.
Right.
And he said he can remember being, and he's 60 something now. He said he could remember being on his knees in that hospital room and he was throwing everything at it. I'll do this, I won't do that, and I want this, and I want that, and I want whatever. And I said, okay. And he said, well, as you already know, she didn't make it. I said, yes, I do understand that. And he said, I said, did you keep the promises you made though? I'm just curious to know, did you keep the promises that you made? And he was like, no, of course not. I'm like, of course not. He said, no, because I felt like God didn't keep his promise. And I'm like, oh, no. I know, no, I understand, but no. So how do you feel now, you know, 50 years later, how do you feel about it? He says, well, now I know I wasn't making a deal with God anyway. I was making a deal with myself.
I say,
okay.
I say,
he said, because God has already decided what God is going to do. God has already determined what this situation needs. And what the situation needs for the person that you were making these deals about may not be the same thing that you need.
Right.
Because at that point, he was caring for my mom.
Right.
And I said, okay, that's a concept. I got that. Make a note. It's not a deal with God, it's a deal with yourself. Thy will be done is what you actually saying to me right here.
Yes.
And I said, okay. So I had to think about this as best as I could. I said, you see, I already had made some changes about my life. I had already made some changes with regard to my health, my wealth, my love and happiness, right?
Come on now.
I had already cleared some folks out of my path that were in the way of me and M.I.T getting a little closer. I had already changed my perception about some things that were happening in my life and made it so that I could have a clearer path to the destiny and the outcomes that I wanted. So I really didn't have a lot to bargain with as far as those A, B, C, Ds, and E's. I was running a little show because I had trying to be right and righteous. So I was like, I was trying to live right. I didn't have a whole lot to negotiate with. I was like, okay, what we gonna do? And I just started thinking. I started just thinking, you know, about his story. I started thinking about my brothers and Jose, and I started just thinking about my mom in that other room and how precious life was. I started thinking about how fragile life is. I just started thinking about how many days I just lollygag away because I can. I started thinking about, I don't mean those days where you intentionally say, okay, I've been doing a lot, so I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna get some rest today. Those are not the days I'm talking about. I mean the days where you have absolutely no thought, care, or desires or intention of putting yourself to use for anything of any purpose for yourself, your people, your God, or your church. Don't tell me I'm the only one.
You're not.
Because I'm looking in this, I'm gonna say viewfinder. I'm looking in this camera, and some of y'all couches look a little too well used. You know, I'm not saying, don't tell me I'm the only one. You know, I'm not the only one who spends a whole afternoon squandering on a bunch of nonsense, amongst other things, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Solitaire, Real Housewives of all the 50 states, fantasy football, I said it, whoever your favorite, just whatever your favorite unrecoverable time machine is on this planet, just whatever you just dumping it into and not getting anything back. Don't tell me I'm the only one. Don't tell me I'm the only one. I told Satan, get thee behind.
Okay, now.
Oh, I had to. I told Satan, that's Connie over here.
Yeah.
I started making some deals with myself.
Okay, now.
I said, I'm going to have to come up with some form of a plan for my day every day. I'm going to have to do something to improve my mental health, to gain back my memory, to improve my physical condition, because at this point, my body was pretty much locked up from just lack of movement, lack of exercise, lack of everything with this COVID, because it zaps all of your energy, it zaps all of your desire to do anything productive. I said, I got to fix this. I'm going to have to read and meditate and let my brain not turn into just glue without a fight.
Okay, now.
I have to organize my personal environment so that what I'm looking at on a daily basis is aesthetically in line with my spiritual visions, okay? Because just like we want our spiritual inside to match our physical outside, we also want to take visually into our minds things that reinforce our thoughts. Now, what I mean by that is, you know how you ever open up the trunk of your car and you be like, oh, what is all of this in this, right?
Yeah.
But you telling yourself you're an organized person. But when your brain takes that sight in, it's a conflict.
Right.
Because what you're seeing through your eyes and registering it on that projection in your mind is like in conflict. So I needed to get what was around me in line with where I wanted to be on the inside, right? So you have to think about those things. So you take a look around yourself right now. You take a look and tell me, no, don't tell me. I don't need to know. Tell yourself, is what you see around you in line with what you believe you are wanting to be around you in your mind?
Come on now.
Whatever that is it organized? Is it beautiful? Does it reflect the things that are in your mind as how you want your life to look? And if not, then work on it.
Got some work to do.
I had to tell myself with regard to Wose, I cannot worry about who shot JR.
Right.
Some of y'all still know who that is. I cannot tell myself who shot Johnny or Susie Q, and the names have been changed to protect the innocent, because it distracts me from my purpose and it distracts me from God. And besides that, this is God's house, and I am confident that he can clean his own house. If anybody can.
Come on.
I had to reevaluate my position in the ministry and say, can you do this or can't you? And I think that I can, because while I'm here on this earth, those things that make a difference, this has to be one of those things.
Bring it, mama, sister.
Now, this planning and thinking that I was going on for about 3 days or so, 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 days. And I'm like, and then one day while I'm planning and thinking, it dawned on me, hey, my brain is working.
Come on now.
While I'm doing, something happened. I got all kind of notes. I got all kind of structure. I got all kind of schedules. My brain is working. When did that happen? I don't even know when that happened.
Yes. Come on.
I thought to myself, okay, wait, it's a mirage. Let me check and see what mom's doing. Let me check and see if she's improving. Because I've been so busy with all of my thoughts and my ideas and my locomotion. To be honest, I hadn't even really noticed if she was improving. Now, right now, some of y'all going, what she mean she hadn't noticed if her mama? She's supposed to be taking care of her mama. I was taking care of my mama. My mama was fed. My mama was clean. My mama's hair was combed and washed and brushed. My mama's teeth was brushed.
We know it.
But I hadn't done a quiz.
Okay, now.
I hadn't done the Baba Tai. I'm gonna give you 3 words right now, and I'm gonna come back 8 hours later and see if you still remember those 3 words. I hadn't done it in a few days.
All right now.
So I didn't know if she was improving. I just knew I was busy getting with God. So I had to go in that other room and I was like, hey, mama, how you doing? And of course she's looking at me like, what do you want, girl? And I'm like, how are you feeling? Let's talk. And after we had a few minutes of conversation, I realized she was not 100%, but she was 100% better than she was the last time I checked. And see, what this said to me is, I can claim it. My brain is working, my brain is working, my brain is working, my brain is working. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Help me, y'all. Victory is mine. Good. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. I told Satan, get thee behind. Victory today is mine. Hallelujah. That's a wayward child. Oh. When I tell you God is a redeemer, if you don't believe, she said, that I've been redeemed, the angels in heaven done signed my name. So then I said, okay, now you better get to work, because what you have been shown, what has been proven to you, what has been evidenced is that you don't know how much time you have. You don't know how many opportunities you have. You don't know when you're done.
Teach good.
You don't know.
Teach good.
And when where is it? When I have to go stand and have my virtues weighed against that feather, I need to be able to call off what I've done. I need to be able to say, I have. Because remember, y'all, this ain't about what you haven't. This is about what have you done for me lately. Okay? So I dusted myself off.
Come on now.
And I started getting back on Zoom.
All right
now, even if I look like an escapee, I just kept the camera off and came on Zoom. I had lost 16 pounds. And it wasn't cute, kind of 16 pounds. It was what's wrong with her, what she'd been through kind, but it was okay. I just needed to nourish myself and figure it out. And as the days passed, I got out in the garden and I got to planting vegetables, you know, and people who loved me came and were helping me out there digging in the dirt and all of this stuff. And I actually overdid it because I ended up catching a cold and catching bronchitis. But you know what? That's okay. I know how to do bronchitis. I know how to do bronchitis. I called the doctor, you know, I asked for my little hand. Leave it alone, you know, and it was all good. But that fresh air and that getting in the dirt, y'all, for those of you who don't know, that's what I do. And it was just waking myself up on the inside, getting myself on the inside, and all of those things. I had to say, you know, what we gonna do? And that brings me to where we are right now. Right now. I always end up with, how did I get here? That's how I got back here. Brings me right here. And where I am is in a position of feeling the desire, feeling the need, feeling the urge to recommit myself. To recommit myself to Wozang. To recommit myself to our Creator. To recommit myself to my duties. Right? Because What I know is that I don't know. And every day, at the end of the day, I stop now and I say, how you doing? I told this to my Khaleesi, he just laughed. How you doing? And I think about what I did for the day, and I kind of say, well, you know, did you do something for God? Did you do something for your mama? Did you do something for yourself? And you know, sometimes I get 2 out of 3 in, sometimes so sometimes I'm like, today was good. Roll on, I can sleep comfortably. And other days I'm like, well, I'll see what I do better tomorrow. But it's a question now. It's a question at the end of the day. What did you do for God? What did you do for your church? What did you do for yourself? What did you do for your parent? What did you do for your community? What did you do? Come on now. What did you do? Because at some point I'm gonna have to answer. And I'd rather not think about it on a 20-year slope and then figure out I'm behind or ahead, carry the 2 and minus divide. No. I'm gonna think about it on the daily. So I can reconcile it on the daily. Come on now. Okay. So I feel the need to recommit. Because see, the reality of the situation is, you come here. Come on, Minister Malley. Come on. Sydney, you come here. All right. Give me one and give me one. Come on. The reality of the situation is, come on now. This church, Rose, right here looking at it. Now there's some more of us out there amongst you in Zoom land. But as far as what you're looking at right here, this is where we're going. And we have things to do. It's only March and we're gonna set 2022 straight. We're gonna get it back on the right track. And we cannot do it alone. And that's where you come in, because I know you've been sitting out there ready to jump into this situation. Well, here's your chance. I know you've been sitting there saying, I want some of that, so I'm gonna give you the chance to get some of that. Okay? Because we cannot do it alone. You know, I got so up here telling y'all about this, I forgot to tell you your whole your readings, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You know, that's okay. I'll get to that at some point or not. It's okay. All right. Here's the thing. We cannot do it alone. Come on now. Okay. We are going to need each and how many people we got on here right now? 41. We're going to need each and every one of you 41 people to make up in your mind, make up in your heart, make up in your spirit what you can do for your God and for Rose. In that order. Okay? I need you to think and say, what is it that I did when I was working if you were a retiree? What are the skills that I have that I bring to the table? What did I actually like about my job? Never mind what you didn't, but what did you actually like? Okay? Is that something that can be used at Rose? Well, I don't know, because you haven't told us what it is yet, but if you sit down and have a conversation with Minister Malley or Minister Sydney or Minister Malik or Minister Bill or Minister Alicia or Minister Makalisi or Minister M.Hotep, one of us gonna help you figure out how to put you to work, because that's what we're doing here at Rose. So what I'm gonna need you to do, because right now you're sitting there going, oh, don't let her call on me. And I'm looking at all of you. And some of you look a little nervous, like, is she talking to me? Well, here's the thing too, because let me get this straight, because I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna keep it real. Some of you are feeling like, I already gave at the office. The office has been closed for some time now, but it is newly opened and renovated. And there's a welcome sign on the door. So if you were here in the 80s and you were all about the heyday of the 80s and you feel like, I don't know if I want to do all of this all over again, what are they talking about? Then you know what I need you to do? I need you to be a mentor. I need you to be a teacher. I need you to be a support system. I need you to give us some of that knowledge. I need you to give us some of that experience. I need you to tell us what worked and what didn't work and what you think would work. And I need you to do that. Okay? If that's where you were, that's what I need you to do. So no, you don't get off the hook that easy. No, I don't think so. For the rest of you, you youngsters that's out there, what do you do? What field are you in? I know it's some of y'all in politics because you slipped and said it. it. I know it's some of y'all in industry because you slipped and said it. Well, now we need you to bring some of that politicking right on over here to Wose and to help us understand when we're looking at these ballots for election, who we need to be voting for. We need you to sit down and talk with some of these meetings for communities and different things. What your interpretation of that is, so we can get back to when churches got together as a collective and made movements that counted within their community. We need some of that. That's what we need.
Yes.
So what I want you to do,
Yes.
I'm gonna sing a song. We're gonna sing a song. Y'all already heard me sing, it's terrible. So the faster you do this, the faster I'll stop singing. What I'm gonna need you to do, we're gonna do a little bit more Victory Is Mine. And when we stop Victory Is Mine, I need to hear you say your name. You know who I'm looking at? I'm looking straight at Kofi.
Man, the general.
The general. We're gonna sing a little bit of this song, and when we stop this song, I need to just hear you say, I recommit.
Oh, I say.
To, you can choose to say Wose, you can choose to say God, we all in the same thing together.
Well,
the success and the greatness of our people.
Yes.
I got 42 people out here. I would really like to see 42 people say, I recommit. Now, if you think and see, everybody wants to find a loophole. I'm going to close this loophole too. If in your mind you have already committed, so you don't need to recommit, then just say, I commit to Wose. That's fine. You did it before, do it again. It's one or the other. You got two choices. You're recommitting, you're committing. We cannot do it alone. We need you. I'm telling you to your Zoom face. I go, you go, just like that. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. I told you. In a faith. Victory is mine. But then he got converted. Happiness is mine. Happiness is mine. Happiness today is mine. Hello, is anybody out there?
Hello, my commitment is continuing.
That's one. Hello.
My commitment is continuing, unending.
We'll take it too. We're never gonna get through this if y'all don't jump in. Come on. Hello, one ringy dingy. Come
my
on, somebody.
commitment is continuing. I recommit, Baba Damu.
There we go. Happiness is mine.
I recommit, Mama Ingina. I recommit.
My commitment is continuing, Mama Fania.
I commit.
Baba Hassan, I am committed.
Sugar D, Sugar D.
Who's with you, Hassan? Who's with you?
Sugar D is committed.
There we go. Committed. Bring with you. Who'd you bring with you?
So he's saying to the Galatians, he's saying to God's people.
I say, victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Hello?
Hello. I commit.
Akanke. Yes. Who'd you bring with you, Akanke?
Woo! All right.
Speak up if you're out there. Speak up. Speak up.
Yeah. I commit Katabazi.
Oh, the
Katabazi. We'll take it. We'll take all that power. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
Bami Deli.
I commit.
I commit.
Come on, Bama. Who else? Who'd you bring with you, Bama Deli?
Right now, myself.
I commit.
Come on.
I commit.
Step up. Step up. Step up, I can. Step up, I can.
That's right. Nobody gets off the hook. I commit.
Step up. Step up. We need every single one of you. We have lots to do. We have lots to see. We have lots to make happen. Let's see. Who else? Who else is out there?
Makalisi on the commitment train.
Joy today is mine. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. I'm so glad. Woo! Get behind. Victory today is mine. Woo! Woo! All right, I say.
Now, what I'm not going to do is close this out before asking, is there anyone else out there who wants to recommit, commit, rededicate, reestablish your decision to get behind this church, this train, because it's leaving the station and I'm not coming back to get you. You might be able to run along the side and jump on one of the ladder trains, but we are making moves and going places and doing things. We want 2022 and every year going forward from here to be taking us to a place of glory and victory. And I want every single one of you to be on that train with us. So
knock, 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 knock.
Hello?
Knock, knock. This is Sister Judy. I am here. Have no fear. I am here. I'm ready. I've stepped up. You all know I have, and I'm not stopping.
Sister Judy, I got a different song for you. You know what it is?
What's that?
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine all the time. Oh, yeah. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine.
I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine.
Let it shine. Let it shine. Woo, woo.
Oh.
I'm Foxy Brown, and I commit to stay committed.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I see you. I see you. Oh, my beautiful people. I see you. Woo, when I tell you.
M.I.T. Rauna. M.I.T. Rauna. M.I.T. Rauna. Can I get an order of commitment and an order of commitment to go?
And I'll give you some fries along with that shake. Oh, hallelujah. Thank you so much, Jose. I want you to know I am so grateful to you all for letting me be me and letting God work and speak through me in my own way. All I got is what I bring to you, and I'm so grateful to know that you are
commit to helping you and her more.
Willing. What's that? You are all still willing. You are all still supportive of Jose because we have work to do. In all seriousness, we have work to do. And literally, between all of the ministers,
M.I.T. Rauna.
That's my mother's voice, you guys. I'm listening.
And your sister too. I love you.
And my sister's voice, okay.
I will commit myself to you and people.
Okay. All right.
It's on my thing, but I can't do it on mine. Love you. I didn't want you to think so. Have to see. Look.
All right, y'all, I'm good.
See, sometimes you ain't got to say a whole lot. Say a whole lot. And see, messages that move and touch are self-evident. You know, normally at the end of a message, we have to extend an invitation. But if you didn't know, if you ain't overstanding, if you ain't understanding what has just happened, see, the Spirit of the Divine made its presence known. And we have been called out. This just ain't an invitation to membership. This is an invitation to be a part of the work, to be engaged in the process, to be a living, involved member who is doing something. And it does take recommitment. It does take to be replenished and restored in order to keep this on going. Our M.I.T. Rauna just laid it all out for us. You know, it ain't a whole lot that you have to add to that, except what we have just witnessed. Folks, you out there have lifted up your hands and your voices and said, I will commit. I will recommit. You know, because that first commitment can be like that end of the year when we say, oh yeah, 2022, and you know, and when we do the altar of the things we plan at our ceremonies and rituals we have in December, you know, we tend to say, yeah, I want to do. But see, Sister Rauna said, how about you actually confirming that commitment? See, now we got witnesses. I seen some of your faces. I saw all of your names, and I was a witness. And let me not leave myself out, because I ain't old to this process. Yes, I've been working in this area for a long time, but I want to state for the membership in the community of Wosay, I commit myself to the divine. I commit myself to the Wosay community, and I commit myself to the work. To the work, not just for messages, but for the engagement, the outreach, the involved activities to talk to the young folks, to minister to the older folks, to embrace the youth and all others who are on their way. I commit. And I know there are many of you who need to commit. There are also some of us who have been watching and listening, feeling maybe entertained and moved by the Spirit, but have you committed to actually join? That's what the invitation is for. See, you need to be a part to get into it. You just can't watch us. This ain't an observation activity. It's also a participation. So if there is anyone who has yet to formally say, hey, I'll wave my hand. Hey, I'll commit my name. This is your time. We invite you to come and be a member of the Wosay community, where we ain't just talking. We're also about doing. M.I.T is to be spoken, to be done, and to be thought. It has to be a part of all that we want to do. And part of that is real work. So if you haven't done it already, please identify yourself, raise your hand, or just say so in the chat. But we also have to acknowledge something that's already occurred. See, Queen Mother Thurston introduced her other daughter, whose name is Claudia, who has joined the community. Let's celebrate that, y'all. That's right. Let's raise our hand, because every time somebody walks across, That's a major miracle. That's what happens when you deliver the spirit. You just gotta go, yeah, I'm coming. Okay, so at this time, because I don't really see any other the wiggly hands on the screen, can we get Sister Claudia to just kind of speak to us and confirm that she's joining with the Mosaic community? Queen Thurston, can you let your other daughter know we want to hear from her? We see her.
He's on mute. About your commitment. Okay, you want to answer them or what?
We're looking at you. We see you.
Can you hear?
Now we hear someone. Claudia, are you on mute? You can unmute so we can hear you.
Well, can you hear me through Mama's speaker?
Yeah, it's just real low.
Just a minute, sorry.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
The people that helped them when they were going through their COVID. Really, really appreciate it.
So we will be contacting you. You already got an in-house minister. So she'll be
Rauna has my
contacting you.
contact information.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I got Mommy's microphone, but Rauna has my contact information and everything, so I just have to figure it out and oops.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
I think she'll be excited and very eager to do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
So we're gonna do lecture report?
Yeah. Oh, you need to announce it. So yeah, let me go through the formality. We are now at the point of the service where we'll have lift every voice and sing. Once again, thank you all who have been a part of this very stimulating and motivating service. It's obvious the presence of the divine Amen-Ra has been blessing us. Ashe, lift every voice and sing.
All right, here we go. Let me get a few of my stones up here. Come on in and Minister Rauna with the, you got everybody shook. Come on in and get some of this. All right. I'm ready to break out in victory is mine. But okay, here we go. And I know, all right. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the lifting tide. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising of a new day. Let us march on till victory is won. And as we follow in the footsteps of our ancestors, as we join in on that commitment that we're going to be a bigger part of we'll say to do more. We know that we are one people, one
people, one name, one destiny, one God, one God, one God.
All in the name of the Most High that our ancestors have called for so many years. Let us all say,
Amen-Ra.
You are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth. All right. Victory in mine. Victory in mine. I'm so glad. Victory in mine.
is mine.